How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is RuffledRowlit, and welcome to a brand new video, guys. Today, I am tired, and I've been killing I've been getting rid of that moth boy. I've been getting that moth boy real quick, dog. Last night, that boy came on my monitor. I just went, huzzah, and that boy be just gone, and he be eviscerated, boy. He doesn't live anymore. As a wise man once said, that thing is gone. It's gone. It doesn't exist anymore. It's dead. It's dead, fam. It's dead. That thing don't live no more. So, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, I eviscerated moth. I used this thing. I just went bam, and then I went like whoop, and then I went like through my window and like I just literally saw like a bee outside. Dude, seriously, like summer in Sweden is like a pain because there's so many freaking bugs. Don't you come in here. Either way, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a brand new video, guys. Today we're going to be covering a old school rumor, a very old school rumor. I mean, I'm just going to be honest. We're covering a rumor from your boy Piuk. Yes, we're covering a rumor from Piuk, which is going to be quite interesting. So let's jump right into it. Which was sent to me by Sheely. So Sheely sent this my way, saying, RuffledRowlit, guess who's back? Piuk just posted that people got confused about his rumor being China, but he was referring to the UK. He could be referring to one of the evil teams as a group of mythical fairy Pokemon that wants to wreak havoc over the Galar region and are hiding behind the wood. Which I'm not sure what Sheely's trying to get across here, but we'll read what he has posted here and what he's talking about, and then we'll read the rest of Sheely's actual, kind of message here. Now, apologies if you guys can't see this whole thing. The issue with these images is that sometimes like they're just too large and you guys can't read a little bit, so I apologize about that. I could also try saving this and putting it on the screen, but I'll just read it out and you guys will hear what it's all about. So here's what this starts off with. It's called Goodbye by Piuk. So it's just like that old Piuk account, which was the final one that came out of nowhere. And here's what it starts with. Hi again, guys. Just to give you a heads up, a few guys within our translation teams have been asked to move into the international websites content, so to support the editors and web managers for planned upcoming updates. This type of project runs in parallel with the script's translation, and it is indeed a clear sign that something big is going to happen soon. Now, this was posted on the 3rd of April, by the way. So, and it's not just about the movies. There are a few regional coordinators managing this whole process: Continental Europe, United Kingdom, US and Canada, rest of America, Australia, and 3 of the Asias. 3 for Asia, not 3 of the Asias. 3 for Asia. 3 of the Asias? That would have been weird. And for what I heard, that's one of the most stressful positions to cover, as they take all the blame if something goes wrong. This happened several times in the past, where the miscoordination between macro regions led to the publication of too much information on the German official website, or Taiwan anticipating stuff days before the go-ahead. So this is true. This actually makes a lot of sense what you're saying here. Now, okay, I'm not going to go into the details of like if this is the exact coordinating, managing process or whatever, but I'm gonna look at this from like a perspective of a observer who's observed enough Pokemon leaks and stuff in the past to kind of give a general insight, and I'm just giving my personal opinion and insight on this, so do keep that in mind. This isn't coming from a position where I've worked in this position of translation that I would know, but just take this as a opinion for someone who's just been looking at too many Pokemon leaks over his lifespan. So let's start with this, right? This, in my opinion, makes a lot of sense. There's been so many issues, so much of a shit show for Game Freak in the past, like, year or two. I don't even know what exactly to put it, like, for the last, like, half a decade. It's been a bit of a shit show for them, trying to keep their shit under wraps, because every time they're working on a game, it ends up getting too much information leaked ahead of time because of weird, dumb things happening. Now, of course, one of those things is Kurokoro in a weird way, but Kurokoro just tends to... Well, Kurokoro's been a leak thing since like Generation 5, so much Kurokoro's been a leak thing since Generation 5, right? I've been leaking things since, like, before a lot of people even became Pokemon fans, for a long, long time. And the Kurokoro leaks are a little bit different because they're kind of, like, anticipated and kind of, like, in the know. Whereas other leaks, like, for example, the data mine leak, right? When people data mined the demo of Pokemon Sun and Moon, that wasn't intentional. Or the ORAS data mine, or the X and Y data mine. I mean, the X and Y data mine, I can't remember if that even was a thing, because that was too early to be a data mine properly in that sense of the word, because, I mean, it was hacked pretty early on the 3DS, but, it's besides the point. The point I'm trying to get across though, and I'm sorry for talking in a really low tone voice, it's just that I don't want to mess up my voice too much. It's been really like shitty lately, so I've been using these tablets or whatever. Either way, so in the sense of like managing the publication and not having too much information, you know, accidentally leaking out, makes a lot of sense that they're, you know, this is going to be one of the hardest positions ever. And if they're really stepping their game up there, that, like, in that position, that area, that makes a lot of sense. Because think about it, right? We have not really had any proper leaks for Sword and Shield ahead of time. We had that, like, a few posts that said Sword and Shield, but those could have just been wild guesses. I mean, think about it, right? Those could easily have been wild guesses. I was saying it's going to be the UK, like, several months ahead of time. Literally, like, almost, like, 9-10 months ahead of time. I was saying it's going to be, like, a UK-based region, because so many things point towards that, and that's what ended up happening, right? So many potential hints were given to us, like, from Masuda, from Game Freak. So many things that pointed towards the UK. And at the end of the day, that's what we end up getting, essentially. So the real question really here for me is, like, you know, how have they been able to keep things under wraps nowadays? Because honestly, in the past, they haven't been able to. So maybe the previous, like, leaks were, you know, people, you know, beta testing the games or just testing the games and that way leaking them. For example, Let's Go was leaked that way. You guys remember the original, like, image of the Lapras? The Lapras image was real, and that was an early, like, you know, leak that showed off actual gameplay. So it's a little bit of a weird way to put this, but let's see what Shirley kind of like said for the rest of this series. So I also think that now Shirley continues and references back to the original Piuk rumor. Now, if you do not know the Piuk rumor, I'm gonna see if I can find the rumor for you guys, so you can see what we're talking about. Let's see. So remember, Piuk is like, I think the Piuk rumor is like, he's Italian, so the rumor was also known like as the Italian rumor back in the day. But I'm gonna see if I can find the original one here for you guys. So here are a few of them, and I'm gonna put them on the screen here. This is from a Tumblr, somebody's Tumblr here called Jadia Zora. So basically made like a little poster about it. It's a rumor from Piuk, villain team wants to lure people away from the island into a new town they've created. If the names are chemical, and I mean, that was not true, and that wasn't related to this. But the rumor was this basically, which was basically like, hi VP friends. And this is the same, you can see the same poster. I hope you're all doing fine. A few weeks ago, I shared with you some information regarding the scripts, and that was true. That was the original post. I was translating together with my team, and I promised to come back here in only case I had a few more details. Surprisingly, the new scripts have been circulating slightly earlier than expected. I know for sure that one of the teams got their second document during the first week of March, while we had to wait a little bit longer. I'll be honest with you, the amount of info I have is now quite big, and I'm not interested in intending to attire attention with too many details. The only thing I will share with you are the following. There is an airport, Turbo Mechanic, stats boost for weaker Pokemon, Snake Brothers, one bad, one good, and vice versa. Evil Team is building a huge town so to attract people from villages and empty the island. Which is interesting. More details in the attached image, and of course the attached image was this one over here, which some of you may remember. And of course this one showed like a bad snake and stuff like that, like a weird airport to the United States, which we thought would be Unova, because Unova is, you know, based on the USA, or like, you know, the area around New York and New York itself. That's what it's based on. But people made the thought that this could be Sri Lanka, because there's so many connections to Sri Lanka from the images, seemingly, and like a lot of the things just don't make sense for the UK. Like, for example, these like palm-looking trees here, that makes no sense. These like little like vehicles here are like tuk-tuks or whatever they're called. I'm not sure. Basically, it's like a vehicle that's very much used in like India, I guess, and also in Sri Lanka and those countries around there in like that part of Asia. And there's like huge city there, like a gigantic city, and also the jungle to jungle thing. There's a bunch of weird little like things here mentioned, like collecting lights so to ensure the nutrients for abyss creatures, cooperative spirit personification. This is like one of the OG rumors from like back in like what 2018, like early 2018. It's like one of the craziest rumors we had. But here's the thing, though. I personally, I mean, it feels like Shirley seems to have like some level of like believability in this. Like she seems to like think this is real. I personally think this is like BS. I don't think Piuk is real. Honestly, I think he just didn't have enough. Like, I mean, honestly, this is just too far away from the UK for me to believe it. Unless like Generation 9 ends up being Sri Lanka, then he didn't know nothing. And there's just too many discrepancies here to make this feel like it's the UK. Sure, it's an island, sure. And sure, you have this like triangle thing, which kind of can be, you know, reminiscent to that like giant wall, which looks more like Hatred's rule, whatever. You know, I mean, in like the map, which also is just like tiny flies, man. Seriously, when summer comes around, so many flies and weird things come into the room. But you got that, so that could be what this is all about. Now, I also think and this is where we continue from now. I also think the child being raised in the wild that Piuk was referring to could be connecting to the changing lore in the fairy lore in the UK. There's a lot of interesting stuff in the UK lore to look up. I'm not sure what that's meant to mean, but alright. I also believe Piuk also mentioned that the evil team wants to wipe all the cities to make more money off of an industry, and no, actually, no, that wasn't really what I was saying. What Piuk was actually saying in his original rumor was more that like the evil team wants to, I think we mentioned this a second ago, they want to take the I think we just read that a second ago, to take all the people from villages into bigger cities, so to, like, you know, kind of, I don't know, just kind of get people off the island, I guess, is what if that makes any sense. I also believe Piuk has also mentioned the evil team. He was referring to one of the royal houses, money in the industry, but probably the group of mythical Pokemon wants to stop other evil teams by releasing one of the wolves. I believe it does make a whole sense if it depends on each side if you're joining a group of mythical Pokemon or want to stop the rich humans to take over the region with machines in the sword version, or to unite the other houses to stop the mythicals unleashing the wolf and shield. I thought it's fair enough. Tell me this is a good idea. I don't really agree. I mean, sure, would it be cool to have that? Sure, I wouldn't mind it. Do I think it's realistic? Far from it. I do not think this is realistic. In all fairness, I don't think it's realistic enough. I don't think it makes enough sense. I don't think it matches up well. I honestly just don't think it's real, and that's just how I'm feeling about this, and that's just where my mind like races off to, if I'm gonna be frankly honest. That's like where my mind goes. So I just want to kind of point that out so you guys like comprehend that. But yeah, so I mean, honestly, ladies and gentlemen, I'm a little bit like, you know, I'm a little bit torn about the whole thing, so I'd love to know your opinions on it in the comment section down below. Like, what are your thoughts? What are your opinions? Do you think Piuk makes any sense anymore? Do you think Piuk would, like, you know, his return, does that make any sense? What are your thoughts? What are your opinions? Let me know in the comment section down below. And, yeah, I think that's going to be the end of the video, guys. If you did enjoy, then drop a like down below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye.